Hi, my name's Miss Pratt, and I am the RHS librarian, and I wanted to share with you my all-time favorite book, and it's actually a book series. There's 15 books if you count the prequel. The first book is The Eye of the World. It's by Robert Jordan. It's The Wheel of Time, and all of the books in the series start with this same passage, and it sets the tone. The wheel of time turns and ages come and pass, leaving memories that become legend. Legend fades to myth, and even myth is long forgotten when the age that gave it birth comes again. In one age, called the third age by some, an age yet to come, an age long past, a wind rose in the mountains of mist. The wind was not the beginning. There are neither beginnings nor endings in the wheel of time, but it was a beginning. This monumental work by Robert Jordan, it rewrote the fantasy genre and what you could do with it. Everyone's go-to classic is Lord of the Rings, and honestly, I've tried to read Lord of the Rings like 3 or 4 times, especially when the movies came out. I could never get into it. I got really bogged down in this long description, which is fine, but it was not for me. And I love fantasy. Uh, this, on the other hand, I picked up the first book in 1990, and the last book was written in 2015. This was his life's work. Unfortunately, he passed away before he actually finished the final volume. It was co-written then by Brandon Sanderson, who did an amazing job, and it was certainly not something that just anybody could step in and finish. This is a best-selling series by Tor. There are over 4.4 million words in the series. The average book is around 300,000 words and just in the series. And then just to compare, that's 100,000 books for a standard novel length. And these are 3 times that. And there are 15 to tell the entire story. There are 2,782 distinct named characters. And when I went to a Wheel of Time convention, I had the opportunity to meet Maria Simons, who was Robert Jordan's research assistant. And one of her jobs was to keep track of the different characters and the details about them. And one of the amazing cool things about this book is there's not a single main character. There are 3 main characters, 3 men and 3 women who really the story revolves around. And it is quite complex, quite political. It's pure epic fantasy. It starts off as a homage to Tolkien in a little tiny farm village where the great mentor, in this case a woman, comes seeking the savior of mankind. In an interview with Robert Jordan, he mentions that one of the things he was interested in exploring with this book is what happens when someone taps you on the shoulder and tells you you're the savior of mankind? Are you going to believe it? You're not going to believe it. And in fact, for the first trilogy, you're not super sure which of the 3 young men is the chosen one, is the savior. It is an amazing series. I can't recommend it enough. I just spent the last 7 weeks rereading it from start to finish, and I could barely put it down, even after the many, many times that I have read it. And um, I cannot recommend it enough. If you are looking for an immersive journey, something that is going to um, reshape the way you think that literature and genre can do, you need to start with The Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan.